We are pleased, honored, and privileged to be joined by a SWAC and HBCU lifer. He played at Alabama State. He won Super Bowls in the NFL, and he's now continuing his coaching career in the XFL. The pride of Alabama State is Reggie Barlow, and he's coach of the D.C Defenders of the XFL. Coach Barlow, thanks for taking the time to join us here on the Sports Nation. How are you?
I am humble and blessed, Mark. I thank you guys for allowing me to come on. I really appreciate everything as well.
Well, it's great to see a guy who comes from the HBCUs get his time to shine, Coach. But I remember you telling me at a SWAC press conference back in the day that Barlows don't feel pressure. They apply it. So what will you be applying on the sidelines in D.C. that will give fans hope who desperately need a winning team?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're just so grateful to be in D.C. Obviously, last time out, those fans were outstanding. Looking forward to that. But, hey, you're going to get passion. You're going to get a guy that's committed to developing the entire man. You're going to get a guy that's going to put a good staff together. Obviously, the head coach is only good as his staff and the people that he have around him. And we're really excited about the group of men that we're going to have on our staff that's going to be coaching these guys. But yeah, it should be fun. Exciting brand of football, physical, tough defensive football, fast-paced offense. And we're excited about that.
Yeah, to your point, Coach, this DC fan base loves its football, and they showed up and really did show out in the first iteration of the DC Defenders. What makes this league is chance to survive a little bit better than the first remix of the XFL?
Yeah, well, I think XFL 2.0, I think without COVID, things was rolling pretty good. But this XFL, we have the grasshopper mindset. The grasshopper can only go forward, and that's kind of like what we're looking at. And when we got involved with this XFL, it's all about the leadership. And if you look at the leadership and the people that are leading, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Ms. Garcia, Redbird Capital, all of these people have been extremely successful in their lives and the things that they're continuing to do. So that made it really attractive. Of course, the VPs, the executives, Russ and Mark and Doug that they got, that's a part of it, guys who've been in the NFL for a long time. And just the structure that they're putting this thing together is extremely exciting. And our DC fans, as you mentioned, they were so good, and they had a lot of energy and attended the games and cheered the team on. So we look forward to embracing them. We look forward to having good games there and being able to enjoy the festivities.
Talk about Dwayne Johnson, not necessarily as the leader, but the brand at the top of the XFL food chain. In its first stage, you had a brand like Vince McMahon. Say what you want about him. He was sort of like the personification of what the league was all about. Do you see that in Dwayne in a different way? He personifies what the brand of the XFL is, and it will trickle down throughout your teams.
Yeah, how about Dwayne Johnson? I mean, this is the most recognizable figure, actor. The things that he's done over his career, from wrestling to acting, and just he's killing it. He'll continue to kill it. Just an amazing guy with an amazing outlook and view. He's passionate about this league because at one point he was 54. There's a 53-man roster. And the 54 guy don't make it, but he felt like he still could have played football, and that's why he's so passionate and animate about this league. A lot of these guys that could make NFL teams just didn't get an opportunity, or haven't got an opportunity, may need a little bit more development, a little bit of growth. So he's been outstanding. He's embraced this league, and he's doing a good job at it.
Reggie, to your point about that, you know the walk that players from smaller schools who may be somewhat overlooked and have their credentials challenged because of the perceived competitive nature of the conferences that they went to school. How much of that fuels your fire to, for lack of a better term, pay it forward, not from the star guys, but for the players from the smaller schools that when they see what you've done, it's not like you have to sell it. You know, you
Right.
talk it, you've walked it, and you have credibility with your brand.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's a great point, Mark. We've lived it, right? We was once this, wide receiver at Alabama State with not many opportunities. And I remember going to the combines and talking to scouts and stuff like that. And it's like, the lights on the next level are way bigger than the lights here. And I'm like, well, the field still is 100 yards. And I'm still going to be able to do what I do. So that didn't deter me. And that's just what we want to sell to other HBCU guys. There's a lot of good talent at HBCUs in all those conferences, MEAC, SWAC, CIAA, SIAC. And I'm hoping, like you mentioned, to pay it forward. Now, we're not going to give anybody that don't deserve it, but for guys that show that they have the skill set, that they have the size, and then they have the mental capacity to compete on that level, then we definitely want to give them an opportunity to compete.
Yeah, you had that Jackson State, Alabama State wide receiving core there back in the day doing some big things, huh?
I tell you what, when I first went in the NFL, our wide receiver room, we had probably about 5 SWAC guys. We had Jimmy Smith, we had Greg Span, we had another guy, I forget his name, that was from Jackson State. Then of course me, Alabama State, and then we had Will Moore, who was at Texas Southern. So the guy Ron Hill, who was a scout, head scout there. I mean, he knew what the SWAC was all about, and he loaded that room with SWAC guys, and a lot of us went on to do good things. Jimmy, obviously going to be up for the Hall of Fame at some point. We did our thing in punt return and all that stuff. So yeah, HBCU guys can do it. It's just about being prepared when you get your opportunity. When these people call on you, being ready to go and train, run your 40s, do your lifts, the short shuttle, just being prepared and ready to do that stuff, so you'll have an opportunity to get looked.
That is Reggie Barlow, boys and girls, Super Bowl champion, SWAC legend, HBCU lifer, and head coach of the D.C Defenders in the XFL. Again, thanks a lot, my friend. Look forward to talking to you more. Can't wait to press the flesh over a crab cake or two.
Man, I can't wait, Mark. I really appreciate you having me on, and thank you for all that you do for HBCU and spreading the word, the good word about our universities, and we appreciate you for that.
And keep giving us good words to spit. We're going to send them out there for sure.
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We got more of what you came here for coming up next as we continue making our way around the HBCU Sports Nation.
Black out.